Viola Nahar, Marina Love, our gold advocates Bill Kelly and Glenda Kelly, our platinum advocates for the year, also earning a pin, are Carol Makovic, Grace Robinson, and Glenn Morrison. If you don't mind just staying up here for a group photo. Oh. Yeah. Come back up. Let's take a group photo at the end. And then our recertified maps, Brett Roberts. Henry Wade. Councilmember Henry Wade. Councilmember Nancy Smith. Vice Mayor Peg Chapados. Leanne Clark, Susie Miller, who's not able to join us tonight, Councilmember Manfredi, Councilwoman Gussie, Ted Yoakum, and Joy Ashley. She's not. Oh, she is. So, Councilmember Brown and Mayor Price, would you come down and join us for a photo? And please help me in congratulating these advocates and representing the city of Maricopa.
Many thanks to all of our Maricopa advocates. We really appreciate all you do and the time you take to learn about the city and everything you do for us. So again, many appreciations there. That'll take us to item 4, which is the report from myself, the mayor. So first and foremost, we'd like to introduce our newest employee, who is the city manager, Rick Horst. So Rick, would you stand up? So we're very excited to have Rick on board. He's been on the job now for a little about 3 weeks, plus or minus. We've been running him through the ringer, and he's working hard. So if you have questions or haven't had a chance to get to meet him, we encourage you to do so. He's a great guy, and I think you'll like what he has to say. So again, many thanks to Rick for being here. And again, anything you want to know, you can ask us, but I'd ask Rick too. So a lot of stuff going on. It's been about a month since we met for a variety of reasons. Typically with that 4th of July holiday in there, it makes it really hard for us to get stuff together, and staff is running around doing 4th of July type things. And so we have just been filling the gambit. I just want to give you kind of a quick report on all the things that I've been up to on behalf of you all, on behalf of the City Council. Met with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as we continue to work on our floodplain issues. That's really, really important as we talk about, the amount of money that it will take to fix that project. And again, it's not the city of Maricopa that can do it because it's so huge and it falls under the jurisdiction of the federal government. So you have to literally get the Corps engaged and on board and get the studies done, deal with FEMA, and then get Congress to apportion money to that. So I think that's about as big a challenge as we can possibly overcome, and we're making real headway on it, so that's a good thing. Also wanted to let you know that I spent some time in Los Angeles. I have to be back in Los Angeles on behalf of the city. Met with the developer developer that we are working closely with here, and saw some projects that they're doing over there. I think the total is about $1.5 billion that they're working on this development near the city of El Monte, and it's a great redevelopment project, and so we're looking to bring some of those techniques and the things that they're working on there here. And so again, it'll be very customized to the city of Maricopa, but again, trying to find those connections that will help bring things out of the ground. Also had the opportunity to spend some time at the VW Proving Grounds. Many of you have had that opportunity before, but this one was a little different. This was not a typical tour of the Proving Grounds. This was a celebration of the fact that VW's been in the city of Maricopa, or in this area, for now 25 years. And so they were here long before any of us in our houses, and so they were very excited to see that. They continue to make very large-scale investments in the area. Probably their most recent was the track, the resurfacing of that track and making some additional improvements. They have a lot of things out there that you've probably never seen, because you just don't, it's not something you typically go into unless you're employed there. But they take your phones, you can't take pictures. It's very much a high technological research place. They're always testing cars with all these different salt tests and hot tests and weather tests, and they have all these lights out there that are being tested with the sun, and what does it look like from a corrosion standpoint, and they tear that car down and they mark all the spots and they send it back to the engineers and they say fix this, fix that. So if your car is a little bit better today, it's because of a testing facility like that. But they're very happy. They just made a $20 million investment in the area again, and so they continue to do this. I think their total investment here in the city of Maricopa in that 25 years outside of payroll is somewhere in the neighborhood of about $200 million. So again, somebody you don't see a lot, you don't hear from them a lot, but they really are an asset to the area. They also happened to do a food donation that day, and they brought in the entire company or the entire employees from this particular area, packed food boxes and gave that away. So I thought that was a neat thing. Also, 4th of July went off without a hitch. If you had the opportunity to participate, we were very thankful for staff and all that they did on that. Also spent a lot of time in the past few weeks at MAG meetings. We talked about some of the things with the 347 today. MAG is our Metropolitan Planning Organization. They are very crucial and important to us when we talk about transportation planning, how it works. I spent a lot of time at GPEC, as you heard tonight, also at the Arizona League as we get ready for the Arizona League of Cities and Towns Conference, which we have a leadership role in there. Also, a couple of other things, whether it's good or bad, I think is up to you, but so far it's turning out good. Let's continue to knock on wood that it keeps happening that way. I went down to Tucson here this past week to hear the oral arguments for the Apex case, which is the company that's trying to pull out basically the racetrack out along 238. And there's a particular individual who's claimed standing, and so that was what the whole court case rested on. Was there standing to bring this case or not? And ultimately the Court of Appeals, a 3-judge panel, agreed with Private Motorsports Group, who is Apex, and us, that this individual did not have standing, and so we won that case, and we hope to see that things move forward on it. That's a good thing. Yeah. So again, a good thing. It's sad to see money wasted in court cases, but at the end of the day, that's how it works. Tomorrow I'll be spending time downtown Phoenix for another oral arguments case we're involved in, and that is due to the Pinal County Regional Transit Authority. That is directly applied to the proposition that was passed, Propositions 416 and 417. That was passed in November by the voting public of Pinal County, the city of Maricopa included. And those dollars are really crucial to transportation projects. Potential widening of 347, as those of you that heard earlier in the presentation that was made during the work session, and or any other improvements made to the 347. Those scoping studies, all those things are made possible based on those dollars. And so it's really important for this to move forward if we want to see roads and accessibility improved in and out of this city. And again, you've all made that possible, but now it's got to pass the muster of the court. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow as we go to those oral arguments. I'm also scheduled to meet with the U.S. Corps of Engineers again for a variety of reasons, also a few more developer meetings. And for those of you that are interested in the Uber Local, Ross opens on Saturday, so that's exciting. So hope you'll all be there at the grand opening. I think that starts at 9 a.m. And so you know how to find it. It's right there on 347. If you don't know where it is, I'm sorry, but you made it here. I think we made it as easy as we can for you, but I'm sure we'll see you there, and we're excited to see that. I've been getting reports and numbers from the retail establishments that have been coming out of the ground. I think it's often important to understand that people often ask, well, why is retail so important? Well, it's a quality of life issue. It's also a low-hanging fruit. If we can bring retail out of the ground, then that certainly improves your ability to stay here, shop local, get those things, those goods and services you need here, and keep your tax dollars here. And people often forget how important that is. And you know, I've gotten some reports on Denny's and Planet Fitness and others that have been open, and the amount of tax dollars that help come to the city just in a few short months they've been open has been absolutely phenomenal. And so again, it's one of the ways in which you offset costs. In order to offset property taxes and overall tax increases, then you need to stifle that by having more retail expenditures spent by us here versus in other cities. If you spend your money in other cities, then they get those dollars, and that's where it goes to pay police and fire. And so we want to offset that by lowering your property taxes, by increasing the sales tax, because that's not increasing the tax number, but the overall volume, because you're able to shop local. And so, you know, it's a good way to offset that, because it's more of a user tax rather than more of a penalty that the property tax is often looked at. So these are the things that we're working on. Lots of stuff in the queue here, and so again, a lot of things happening, and so I just want to keep you apprised of that. So with that, that concludes the report from the mayor. That will go ahead and move to the report from the city manager.
Mayor and council and members of the audience, first, thank you for such a warm welcome. I'm delighted to be here. I'm excited about the opportunity to be here with each and every day, as I have the privilege of meeting with staff and members of our community and our volunteers and our elected officials. The decision I made to come here is validated. I hope your decision is validated as well. You know, earlier today I had the opportunity to talk to the person who succeeded me in my last assignment as city manager, and I was telling him about all the opportunity here and how wonderful it is, and the future is so bright. And at the end of the conversation, he asked if we had any job openings. So I said, yeah, sure, come on, buy a house, spend money here, and we'll take you. But I just want to say that I've been doing this a long time, and I am so impressed with your elected officials and the staff that work here. And I think that the only thing that can stop us from being successful is thinking that we can't. And I'm here and ready and committed to work and do my part, and I can't wait to a year from now, because there are going to be some significant things happen, not because of what I've done, but because of the foundation that's been laid. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. That'll take us to item 6, which is the call to the public. I typically go to the speaker cards that I have first, after which I invite the rest of you to jump up to the podium if you so feel inclined. So we'll first go to Shelley Gillespie, Maricopa Short Film Festival. Shelley?
I'm here. You're going to charge me rent for being here so often?
Nope, but I'm going to time
Okay.
you.
Okay. I don't see the...
I don't think our timer's working today, so I'm timing.
Okay. I'll be short and brief. I want to thank all of the council members and everyone here on staff and everyone for supporting the Maricopa Shorts Film Fest. We had some very good news since the last meeting, and we have been awarded for the second year the Arizona Commission on the Arts Festival Grant. And that was by no means a slam dunk, so thank you all for your support. It's a wonderful acknowledgement that we have reached a level of quality. It was we got to hear the community committee deliberations, and they were tough. Oh, they were meaner than the last year. Oh, we weren't sure we were getting it at all. So when we heard we did, we were very grateful and excited. And I'll share some news. I don't see her here tonight, Judith Zamont, but the Maricopa Arts Council also was given a commission grant, and this time community investment grant. And I understand from Judith at our arts meeting the other night that they actually were granted more than they requested. So bravo to them too. So it's great news. And we're very excited because things are ramping up a lot. I'm newly on the Arts Committee, and there's so many exciting things going on. But I want to share with you with our festival that we have some phenomenal films that are coming in. I had someone just today tell me, I'm having a hard time not giving all these films a 10 out of 10. They are so great. So we have some exciting films to offer, and we're going till the end of October. And we also need some screenplays. So if anyone knows someone who'd like to write a screenplay, you still have a shot at winning because we don't have a lot of entries. So we're looking for screenplays, but we've got great films, and we're very excited because the caliber of participation, more and more people are coming forward. We've just landed today another wonderful presenter who's part of the film world, who's going to give a talk on location sound, which when we first started, that was the biggest problem with our new filmmakers. They just couldn't get us to hear their films. So we're very excited about all the things, and just to remind everyone, I'll be posting it soon because we're still trying to get people to give me their headshots and things so I can put it on Eventbrite. But we're going to have festival workshops, which are free to anyone who wishes to attend. You just have to register. September 14th will be at Poston Butte High School in Santan Valley, and on September 15th, Saturday, CAC is opening up their Maricopa campus for us. So we're so grateful, and everyone has been so wonderful. And I want to thank each and every one of the council for all your supportive words and everything you've done to help us, because we've worked hard to try and make this a community event, and I see it coming together more and more. So I guess the third year is the charm. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shelley. Next up is Mary Grace.
I wrote it down because I was scared of the timer. But Mayor Price, honorable members of council, my name is Mary Grace. I am here as a proud mom to 2 current MUSD students. I look forward to another awesome school year where we see continued breaking down of the walls and partnerships formed between our city and school leaders. The other morning, my son Evan and I attended the Coffee with Chief Stahl, Sergeant Kuzer, and Officer Maynard, where the topic was discussing school safety for the year. As a mom, I would like to personally say thank you to our City of Maricopa Police Department, which Chief Stahl is usually over there, for all they do for our community, and especially in regards to the issue of school safety, of which they take very serious and rightly so. It was good to hear of all the training to prevent school incidents not only they are going through, but also the hard work they are putting into training school staff. As a Ram mom, I have to say how awesome it is for us to be blessed with Officer Evans. He is the eyes and ears of that school and goes above and beyond to be more than just a uniformed body there. He is a role model, a mentor, an ear to listen, a shoulder to lean on, a jokester, a coach, and to some even a father figure. To us parents, we know our kids are safe when Officer Evans is on duty. I would like to see the next step occur from our recent safety town hall where we had with the community last school year. It was promised that the discussions would continue, including a roundtable with vested stakeholders. We need to continue the discussions and bring in the engagement of parents, staff, and students. I urge our council to continue to work with our schools and be an active support and presence in committees, events, and even in classrooms. As you well know, our community thrives when our schools do. We are all in this together. Let's keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Next up is Carol Makovic, Relay for Life.
Thank you. Am I here? Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. My name is Tricia Page, and I am co-lead of the Maricopa Relay for Life.
And I'm Carol Moshovic, co-lead.
I want to thank you all for letting us speak tonight. I want to start off with kind of a scary statistic. 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. Now, we consider this unacceptable, and our community also considers this unacceptable. And 8 years ago, Maricopa Relay for Life was formed. So in those 8 years, we've actually raised well over $350,000 for the American Cancer Society. Yes, yay. And this is amazing.
it goes towards, of course, research for cancer, but it also goes towards services that help people who are suffering right now, which is really important to myself and to others, especially those here in Maricopa who are partaking of those services. And such things as a 24-hour informational hotline, rides to and from doctor's appointments, even so far as to free night stay at the Hope Lodge, so that families can stay together during their treatments. Very, very important. So we're asking for people to volunteer with our event, to sign up to fundraise, to just be a part of this, because this is much bigger than us. This is going to go well into the future.
Date and time.
I'm sorry?
Date and time.
Oh, November 3rd is our event at Copper Sky, and we've actually changed it to a daytime event, so it's going to be 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., so it's a little more family friendly, a little more accessible to everybody, and we just hope everyone will come out. And I believe Councilmember Nancy Smith is going to go ahead and speak on her experiences.
A little bit taller. So July 7th, most of my council knows this, was a very important milestone for me. It was my 2-year anniversary. I said I wasn't going to cry. It's emotional. It was my 2-year anniversary from when... And they marked that milestone from when your cancer was removed from your body. And that basically means that 2-year, it's a very important milestone. It means you've gone into remission, and I look forward to the 5-year anniversary, which means you're cancer-free. So I am getting closer all the time. What I wanted to share today, besides that awesome anniversary, is many people ask, so if I'm participating in Relay for Life and I'm donating money, what does that go and how does it help my city? Well, I can tell you firsthand, I received a wig that I needed desperately when I lost all my hair. I received the type of cancer I had a huge impact on my face, and they put me through a whole facial service that allowed me to understand how to take care of my face for the chemo that I was receiving. If I needed transportation, they would come out to Maricopa and get me and take me to my appointments. But thankfully, I have a city full of wonderful supporters that made sure that I always had a ride. So the money that you donate, not only does it go to help find solutions and cures for cancer, it also goes for your immediate city. And all we need to do is ask. So if you ever know anyone who's going through those things, to find out what resources they have, it's very important. But your money does go to help support Maricopa. So consider getting involved. It's really a lot of fun. It's actually a hoot. Kids love it. They love the whole environment and the whole experience. So really consider getting involved.
Well, just to add on to Nancy's, on June 21st, I celebrated 20 years cancer-free from breast cancer. So I can't wait till Nancy gets there. So I am going to step up here today and challenge not only the mayor, the vice mayor, and the council members, but everybody in this room and everybody in Maricopa to join us. And if pulling out your wallet, writing a check isn't for you, I can understand that. But maybe there's a place on our event leadership team for you to help us plan the relay. Maybe you feel like maybe you should join a team or form a team and be there that day. Maybe you will like our Facebook page and share our post. Maybe you'll come across a survivor, or you already know a survivor, and you'll say, hey, you should sign up. And then you'll come out and you'll clap for them when they walk that survivor lap. So there's all kinds of ways that you can support Relay. So if you want to give monetarily, that's awesome, because we always can use that money for research and for these programs that the money can help people here in Maricopa and Pinal County. But if that's not your thing, that's okay, because there's other ways you can help us. So thank you. We appreciate the time tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Next up, I have a speaker card for Demetrius and Kyla Seabrooks.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council in the city of Maricopa. I'm Demetrius Seabrooks. This is my wife, Kyla. We're kind of new to Maricopa. We just started our nonprofit organization out here, branching from Atlanta, Georgia. It is a youth organization teaching kids how to engineer, DJ, and produce through the STEM initiative, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. We've been in operation total 7 years. It is a youth program. We figure there's a lot of youth here in Maricopa. My mother's been a resident here for a long time. Long time. So you probably know her, Myra. But we want to introduce ourselves to see if there's anyone who may know of anyone who has any type of space that we can share as far as doing workshops for the youth. We really do not want to charge them. We want it to be free of charge because we want to give back. We've actually taken place in the Salsa Festival here, and we just performed at the Great American Fourth. Not sure if you was able to catch my beautiful performance. If you did, thank you. We also have a entertainment company that we just registered with the city also, that we do photography, DJ services, MC, and hosting events. We also have the look-alike characters for youth parties. So look us up. We have information here for you if you would like it. You got anything you want to add?
To the council and community members, just wanted to add, we do run a program concurrently in Georgia still, so we have students that are still there, so we're kind of back and forth and still heavily invested in the community there. Our community there was small, just like Maricopa was, so we didn't get a good reach, but we consider ourselves to dwell in quality instead of quantity. And so we still keep in touch with our students that are there, and we're just reaching out to the community officially. August will be our third official year on paper as a 501c3. We just recently got our business licenses for Maricopa, so we are officially here in Maricopa. And we're just looking for the support of the community. So if you see us also very heavily on social media, because our program is more visual than anything, and we want to offer this pathway to students as an alternative to your traditional programs, which may be sports and things like that. They can get involved in a lot of different other careers that may lead them to sound engineering and things like that. So we're just offering that pathway to them. As far as we know, in the United States, there's not many programs like ours around. So we do consider ourselves a unique program and kind of fulfilling a niche, if you will. So I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Real quick, I want to offer our services to the relay team. If you guys need a DJ, a host, please talk to us after today, and we'll take care of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's all the speaker cards I have, but if anyone else wants to approach the podium, may you do so. Go ahead, seeing no one, we'll go ahead and close the call to the public at this time and move on to the minutes. So again, thank you so much so far for your participation. That takes us to item 7.1 through 7.3, so 1, 2, and 3. Can I have a motion to approve, council?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on these items? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. There are no public hearings at this time, but that takes us to the consent agenda. Council, can I have a motion to approve items 9.1 through items 16? 16 at this time. Is there a motion? Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on these items? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. And that'll take us to the regular City Council meeting agenda, which is item 10.1. The Mayor and City Council shall discuss and possibly take action on making an appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission. I believe we have two people that are ready to make appointments this evening. The first one is Vice Mayor Peg Chapados, after which we will move to Councilmember Vince Manfredi.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a vacancy based on Bob Marsh, who had to resign to run, so I want to first thank Bob for his service on P&Z. And then it's my honor tonight. It's my honor tonight to nominate a man who has sat up here before, is currently the president of the Maricopa Flood Control District, and also a good friend, and Mr. Dan Frank is my nomination.
All right. Thank you, Dan. We'll approve him as a slate. Good.
With mine, it was a recent discussion I had with this person. They're very well known in the community. They hadn't applied before today, so their application is new today. But you all know him. But if you have any reservations about not having his application well in advance, just don't worry. You can tell me and I'll pull it. But it's actually Josh Babb. I'd like to nominate him to be on our P&Z.
Okay. So we have two recommendations from our council members. We have Dan Frank and Josh Babb. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay. If not, can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much and congratulations. Give them a round of applause. We appreciate your service on these committees. That takes us to item 10.2. The mayor and city council shall discuss and possibly take action on making an appointment to the Transportation Advisory Committee. This is for discussion and action. If I'm correct, I believe this is Councilmember Wade's appointment.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it is. And at this time, I want to bring someone up that has kind of been in the background from a community boards and commissions perspective, but has been in the forefront in supporting the community, and that's Roger Gillespie.
Roger. All right. Roger Gillespie. So Roger Gillespie is the slated nominee for this particular appointment under Councilmember Wade. Is there a motion to accept? Motion and a second. Any further discussion on Mr. Gillespie's appointment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Again, congratulations, Roger. Thank you. And now on to item 10.3. This is an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Maricopa, Arizona, levying separate amounts to be raised for primary and secondary property tax levies upon each $100 of the assessed valuation of the property subject to taxation within the city of Maricopa for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2019. This is for discussion and action. Brenda, take it away.
Good evening, Mayor Price, members of the council. This is our final action of the fiscal year 18-19 budget. The taxing authorities in Maricopa include Pinal County, MUSD, Community College District, Special Districts, and the City of Maricopa. The city levies two types of property taxes. There's a primary property tax, which supports the operations of the city. This levy increases are limited or restricted to 2% by Arizona revised statutes. The original primary property tax rate was passed in Maricopa in November 2006 to support public safety. There's also a secondary property tax which supports the general obligation bond debt service payments. Levy increases are not restricted. However, the outstanding general obligation bond debt is restricted. The citizens of Maricopa passed the GO bond authorization in November of 2008. The property tax levy is set during the budget process and is based on the net assessed value of the property set by the Pinal County Assessor's Office. The levy amount is divided by the net assessed value of the property to determine the levy rate. The two process for fiscal year $6 per $1,974 over fiscal year 17-18. We held the rate associated with the net assessed valuation consistent with the fiscal year 17-18 rate. The increase in the total levy is related to the increases in the property values in Maricopa. The fiscal year 18-19 secondary property tax levy is $2,941,920. That rate actually decreased from fiscal year 17-18. Staff recommends the mayor and city council pass ordinance 18-03 levying separate amounts to be raised for primary and secondary property tax levies upon $100 of assessed valuation of property subject to taxation within the city of Maricopa for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2019.
Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate it. Any questions or concerns at this time? Vice Mayor.
Not so much a question as something you mentioned I think is important to mention again. I believe this is the third budget cycle in a row where we've held the rate at the same amount.
That is correct.
And our secondary has actually decreased. So again, the good news, even if your taxes go up, it's because your property is worth more. But we've held that rate for 3 budget cycles now, so good job to the
Absolutely.
city. Thank you. Mayor, with that, I would move to approve ordinance 18-03.
I have a motion and a second. With that, we will need to move to a roll call. Is there any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's move to roll call, please.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes?
Councilmember Wade?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Chapados?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Manfredi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gussie? Yes. Mayor Price?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great, thank you very much. Well, that completes our agenda for this evening, and I think the final of our budgetary cycle, so that's good to be through, and I think, it'll start again next month, so congratulations. At any rate, thank you very much for being with us. We will adjourn for 2 weeks, and we'll see you here at the first meeting in August. With that, Council, can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting, please? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. You can all go home now. There's no e-session, I know, it's amazing. Thank you, we'll stand adjourned.